This is Chapter 7, Biography and Informational Books by Sarah Young and Darren Doherty. What is a biography? A biography shares the life of an authentic person from the past or present, celebrates his or her challenges and accomplishments, and inspires their reader with dedication and determination to lead one's own successful life. Biographies are written about people who have had a positive impact on society, leaving the reader with an optimistic view of his or her potential as a contributor to our society.
Biographies can be discussed across 4 dimensions: the degree of authenticity presented in the text, the amount of coverage of the subject's life, the treatment of a single or multiple subjects, and the perspective from which the biography is told. Degree of authenticity. The degree of authenticity relates to the amount of historical accuracy, documentation, and research that is brought to the biographical presentation. Factual portrait. Most authentic type of biography, the factual portrait supports all factual information through direct documentations of letters, diaries, interviews, and eyewitness accounts. Fictional portrait, tied to historical fact, but also reflects the author's creative addition of the scenes, dialogues, and thoughts for which there is no documented biases.
Next, we have biographical perspective. The first one is the autobiography. This is told and usually written by the subject of the book. An autobiography is a first-person account of a subject's life. The next one we have is a memoir. A memoir is related to an autobiography, but it is a record of events based on the writer's own observations. In children's books, this is often a retrospective account that focuses on a memorable or tragic event in the author's own life. The next perspective is the narrative biography. This is the most common type of biography. It is that told by an author through a third-person voice. The voice is one of authority and is aided by research and documentation that makes the delivery of information believable. This is also the likely writing style of a child when asked to share biographical information on a subject. The last one is outsider biography. Often a biography can be told by an individual distanced from the subject, but they have done their own research and examined through research about the individual's life that they are talking about.
Some examples of biographies: Reaching for the Moon by Buzz Aldrin is an autobiography. The Diary of Anne Frank would be an example of a memoir. Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom, is abridged by Chris Van Wyk. And Odd Boy Out is about young Albert Einstein, and that would be a narrated biography. Who Was George Washington would be considered an outsider biography.
These next couple of slides are more in-depth books or summaries on biographies. The first one is Andrew Jackson by Carol Berman. This is a biography of the 7th President of the United States. This biography takes us to his childhood in South Carolina through his military career in the War of 1812, and his family to his legacy as America's first populist president. In the classroom, this book can be used for students to compare and look deeper into the background and lives of our nation's presidents. This book would be also a great tool if a student was doing a presentation on a historical person from the past and needed to look up more information on that person's life.
Rattle off. This is a story of Pocahontas. It highlights important events as she helped to bring about peace and friendship between the English settlers in Virginia and the native Powhatan people. In the classroom, this biography could be used to show students how much of an impact Pocahontas had in helping bring peace and friendship between Indians and the settlers of early America. It could be used in a unit about Native Americans and how they did not get along with the English.
Next is Van Gogh by Mike Vinzia. This biography examines the life and work of one of the greatest artists of all time, Vincent van Gogh. This story walks us through his early years and what he did before he decided to become an artist. It also takes you through his troubling years and shows the artwork from the lively years through the gloomy years. In a classroom, this biography would be great to use in the classroom, especially in an art classroom. The teacher could show how the artist painted with feeling from the brushstrokes to the colors he used, and to incorporate that into a painting the students would have to do. They would have to paint with small brushstrokes to show the movement, and use colors to show their feelings.
Brown Girl Dreaming. Using vivid poems, Jacqueline shares what it was like to grow up as an African American in the 60s and 70s, living with the remnants of Jim Crow and her growing awareness of the civil rights movement. Use in the classroom. This could be used in the classroom as a tool to share the emotions that many people felt during the civil rights movement, especially from an African American child's point of view.
Next, we have informational books. What is an informational book? Informational books are factual presentations of documented knowledge. Their purpose is to instill information and inquiry in the reader. Informational books cover a wide range of topics in all disciplines, including the sciences, social sciences, and the humanities. Although most informational books are written in expository text to transmit information, many informational books have gained prominence by using a narrative, hybrid approach to delivering information.
Types of informational books. Informational chapter books. This format features mostly text organized in chapters or sections. Graphics and illustrations supplement the words, and primary information is delivered through text. Divided into well-titled chapters, the book invites both browsing and reading from cover to cover. Informational picture books. These present factual information in a picture book format. The text and illustrations play a vital role in contributing to the understanding of the topic. Photographic essays. Presentation of information is both through the text and breathtaking photographs that accompany it. Unlike the picture book, the visual presentation is authentic and either historic, panoramic, or microscopic, with the book offering both visual and textual appeal. Information books with a narrative blend. Several new books present a blend of fact and fiction. With information typically presented in a narrative style, it is intended to inform and entertain. These books lure the avid reader into the informational realm, as well as captivate the reluctant reader by surrounding intriguing facts with motivating text.
The benefits of informational books. Informational books add a new perspective to the reading realm of children. Their role is an important one as children emerge into independent reading and inquiry-based research. Informational books invite children into the world of nonfiction reading for both learning and enjoyment. Informational books cover a wealth of topics, so readers can readily locate a title on a subject of immediate interest. Informational books become a valuable resource of content area or interdisciplinary instruction, providing different information and perspectives on a topic. Informational books can stimulate a child's interest on an unfamiliar topic, thus opening a world of inquiry and beginning a quest of generating questions and pursuing answers. Information texts also provide a model of conducting research by showing how an expert gathers, evaluates, organizes, and shares information with an audience.
A couple examples of informational books is Animal Homes by Angela Wilkes. It's a chapter book. And Lafayette and the American Revolution by Russell Friedman. It would be more of a picture book variety.
On the next couple slides, we will have examples of a couple more informational books. This first one is How to Research Your Ancestry by Tamara Orr. This is a book to help students learn about their past. It talks about where they should start first and everything they should do to where they are from and how far back their family goes. In the classroom, this would be a great tool to use when working on family trees. It will give students ideas on where to start, what to look for, and who to talk to when they want to look into their family's history or past.
Dog Crafts by Linda Hendry. The book is a part of the Children's Can Do It series. This book is all about teaching children how to create dog crafts. From photo albums to lampshades, this book will teach children how to create crafts involving dogs. In the classroom, this would be a great tool to have during an indoor recess activity. Children can look through the book and make some of the crafts with materials found in the classroom.
Shipwreck at the Bottom of the World by Jennifer Armstrong. This story recreates one of the most extraordinary adventures in the history. This is a story of Ernest Shackleton and his group of 27 men that sailed from England in attempts to become the first team of explorers to cross Antarctica from one side to the other. In the classroom, this would be a great story to read to students just to show them how you should never give up easily. You should always try again.
Family Math by Jean Steinmark, Virginia Thompson, and Ruth Causey. Summary: the Family Math is a rich resource of math curriculum including number and estimation, thinking logically, probability and statistics, geometry, measurement, and calculators. The stimulating games, puzzles, and projects entices children in playful ways to master math concepts. In the classroom, this would be a great tool to use in the classroom during transition times. Students can use the lessons and activities in this book to play games or build up concepts they have just learned.
With informational texts or biographies, this is a list of vocabulary that students may come into contact with. Nonfiction, informational nonfiction, literary nonfiction, biography, autobiography, perspective, conflict, influential, accomplishment, achievement, ambition, adversity, attribute, characteristic, contribution, impact, and informational text.